They have a little bit of a leeway, just really find their footing. I think, like what Conchita said, they're nervous, they're a little bit more, I would say, pressured. But now as you go to third map, now things should just ease up.
Absolutely. And again, Team Apex Gaming in a little bit of a pickle. They've got two monsters right beside them. One from LATAM, Gun Dynasty, has been cooking the squads that they come across in the early parts of the game so far. They've got the Dinoculus used up already, scanning out multiple players. Falcons scanning the area as well. On fire and Racha just at the perimeter looking to play. $19 points, and they do not have anything from this game. But Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, they're going to go in here for the annihilation. But now punishing KD God and the super survivor, super reviver of the Gun Dynasty squad, looking for more. Well, Miss Shoto, who cracks it on in with the Valiant Dash, catching up with him, taking Banel out with the Max 7.
Yeah, and he was the guy that's responsible to bring the team back into the game, and now he has to be brought in here. Now Tag has an idea where exactly everyone is. Revoz decides to join in on the fight as well. Still waiting in the wings for the right, I think, opening, just really join in, but now on fire, finding Wolvin already, and this off angle by Rasha could be nasty for the Falcons players.
Team Apex Gaming, all the blessings in the world. See, I told you, panel, we were going to bless them, not curse them. With all the blessings in the world, they get to avoid the initial encounter. We thought Falcons was going to be a little bit of a problem to deal with, but the White Tigers have dropped on in to say hello. You turning the table on them. Ain't got taken out of the equation already. Apex, the electrotherapy is on connection, but unfortunately for the rest of the Falcons players, they will not be able to get out of this pinch. Shoto now tossing in the grenade. Can he find more? And it's just going to be the ice grenade that gives him a little bit of an advantage here. What a knock on to Ray. Shoto, Team Apex Gaming not running away, staying and taking the fight straight to them.
And it started off with Tag with the ones that's on the lower of
Shoto!
But Shoto putting the damage here. Rasha moving away.
One more!
And movement coming in. Rasha cannot run away with his life.
Yeah, Chuck the India, baby. Shaljat though, knocked down. Shiru finding him from across. Can they get more? Gun Dynasty trying to take a little bit of a revenge here onto Team Apex Gaming. Two players out of the equation already, but on the other side of things, TEC, it was the battle up against Paradox earlier, and Windy did a number on them, connected with the electrotherapy, was down, almost taken out, but he got the triple on them to knock them out of the lobby early.
That is almost surgical when you think about it, how they're moving around together as a team. Meanwhile, Tag already on 6 eliminations here. Wolvin's now back into the game. All eyes are on GD here, as Falcons as well is in trouble. There we go. Pina now out.
Shout out to production. I love the fact that they caught us up with what happened to TEC in the earlier parts of the game, and it's great to see Africa stepping up their gameplay out there. But Team Apex Gaming, talk a little bit about some step up out there, baby. 7 eliminations already, and they're looking for more. Buriram finding the players on the side of DP. Madara straight down to the ground, taken out of the equation already. Get high, and Moshi looking for more. Top 16 though has got the vending machine right behind him, but does he have the coins to bring back his buddies?
Now in this situation, Jonah is just barely alive, trying to stay here. But even then, look at his rotations. I dig that for DP, the easiest way to move around this is just really stay alive and move away from the area.
Okay, to answer my own question, he did not have enough coins. Matara's not going to be brought right back in. But the stealth bites helps him to reposition, catching up with Aswab. The players now looking to find a little bit of a reset. You will find Paradox, sniping down, snipe himself. Pun not intended. Windy gonna get the wind knocked out of him. Pun definitely intended. And AGAL getting a number down on that. Paradox, can he continue to survive? And Banel is up to it again, continuously reviving the rest of his team members. He's pulling a razzia on the rest of the world here for the LATAM squad.
You know, I really am curious, like toward the end of this tournament, how many Benel would have, revived, and would it be a world record to see how many he would be able to do so? Now, the rest of GD also back into the game as well. Look at this middle side of the map here. There's like, what, 4 teams hanging around there? Buram United, PDX, Aurora, even DRS somewhere close by, DP, AGAL. It's a cluster of fights.
Man, S8UL, wrong move there, but that was desperation for sure. Up against 2 players, jumped on into the vehicle, but the VSK snaps him right out of it. And Aurora in a pinch, but maybe the interference of Buriram can help the Malaysian squad here. Alu now focusing on the players on the side of Buriram. Electrotherapy connected to the rest of his buddies, but if Alu gets taken out early here, DRS is going to be in a little bit of a pinch without this reposition. And thankfully, Buriram is actually not going in for the hunt. They're looking to reposition and find a safer haven for themselves instead.
Yeah, Buram United always like to prioritize surviving super early as well. AGL Cypher does get one over on the other end. Got me a bit nervous for Buram United when I saw some shots coming toward them. I think Loud was really hot at their heels right then. But Buram United, if they do move forward there, they will be running up against DP. Loud on the other end, just putting in damage toward the PDX and AGL players.
Again, shout out to the team in the back. The observers have been on fire. Thank you very much for making sure you guys catch all of the action out there, because it is hot on the lobby today. And like you said, we've got too many squads in this next circle, and that's exactly what Purgatory has been able to give us for quite a bit. Stroex and Rasya leading the eliminations, and Benel actually keeping up with them with the damage out there. I mean, Benel, what a superstar. Super survivor, super rescuer, reviving the squad multiple times. Also one of the rushers of the squad, bringing in the numbers through eliminations for the LATAM squad. This is the best that we have seen out of them, and I feel like they're giving us the consistency that we usually look for. But Team Apex Gaming, great start. Can they continue against the champions of 2024? Falcons right in front of them, but Falcons are spread out. This is a big advantage for Team Apex Gaming.
Yeah, this is really great and just really finding its openings. And you can tell they're very, very hungry. They've been hot on the Falcons' tails for quite some time here. And even Shoto on fire right now. And the rest of TAG wants to collapse onto this fight. They've taken away the space, but Falcons has a little more space to prepare.
They gotta be careful here. They don't have information. They're rushing straight in. Team Apex Gaming needs to slow down the pacing here, get that info, and then play their positions well, because the flank on the side of Falcons might just be exactly what gives them the victory over Team Apex Gaming. And as requested, Team Apex Gaming says hasta la vista, putting a little bit of a distance between themselves and Falcons. Pina, a sliver of health on him, but no finisher just yet. The Monko tagging them up, and India, they do give away their position, but will win. Perfect Thompson play, knocking down on fire. Raja with the M590 looking for the revenge, but those glue walls played perfectly by India.
It kept him away. He wasn't able to follow. He cannot come in. And now the rest of TAG wants to go this fight. Here Raja is alone. In the corner. On fire's back in the game already. Rushes forward. Raja in the corner and taken down and out. Eliminated already here, but Falcons brings him back in quickly.
Yeah, boy, Shoto's on fire. And Team Apex Gaming right back in it, but they gotta make sure they finish what they started. Corora right out there. Pina with the support play. Wolvin knocked down already, and this is still trouble time. Team Apex Gaming, they've got the vending machine out here outside the circle. They need to clean up their act right here, right now. The eliminations are looking good, but Falcons are not gonna get taken down that easy. Shoto with the flag. What a headshot! Shoto's on fire, and Team Apex Gaming will survive.
I love Shoto, how aggressive, how confident he was in taking up that space, knowing how exactly to play with the information and position he has.
What a recovery. The revives are on point as well. And Team Apex Gaming on Purgatory. We talked about them having a little bit of extra room to breathe. And with that extra bit of oxygen in their system, they are on fire. And Falcons now on the revival spree, but with 1,300 in his pockets. Double revival, no problems at all. Falcons though on a little bit of a reset. Buriram close to their compound. But I don't think the World Jams will be looking to take the fight up against them. Falcons scanning out their area with the Dinoculus, a counter Dinocular used here, potentially by either EVOS or Buriram. As the players on the side of DP slowly makes their way in, AGAL looking for that backstab. Not intentionally, they're gonna find one, but they're not gonna second guess their movements at all. They want to take DP out of the equation here before they take away their defensive spot as well.
I am curious to see how exactly the rotation is going to come in for TAG. They're so far away from everyone else, but this late rotation could potentially benefit them. Letting everyone take this fight early. Then quick to find Alu here as well. One knockdown. Top 16 also almost following suit here. And AGL knowing this, quick reposition forward, and DRS Takuri now knocked down.
Oh, Gun Dynasty coming across DRS. Wrong timing here for the Rail Soldiers, but Pratik and Stroex turning things around. And 590 takes down our swap. And this is AGL interfering, perfect timing. And DRS in a little bit of a pickle. Stroex, can you get away? Even if you do, can you get enough coins to play recovery? All alone now for the side of the Rail Soldiers. And Gun Dynasty under the crosshairs of Team Loud. The recovery is going to be close to impossible here for Gun Dynasty. If they pull it off somehow without Benel, it is going to be a miraculous run for sure.
Just really waiting things out right now. Kiroro is here with Falcons. They have like a nice, I think, off angle to play with, but not even close to get into that circle. You have to take this fight against EVOS, which is going to be so annoying. Even Stroex, look how far back he has to move away from the area just to survive.
A little bit of a slower pace.
Scanning out 4 players on the side of EVOS as well. Good binocular once again from the side of Falcons, but what can you do with that extra bit of information? You can't flank around too far off to the left and tank a lot of the damage, putting yourself out in the open. So Falcons are going to actually go in for a direct approach here. And clearly Abex, the M249X in hand, will not worry at all about losing his bullets. He can spray, barely needing to pray. But Team Apex Gaming, I hope you've said your prayers already. You're coming close to one of the biggest dominators in the competition, who are not really on fire just yet. So maybe that's gonna be the blessing here. Shoto, Superman for the side of Team Apex Gaming, looking for the shutdown. Wasana, looking for those nades as well. And for the time being, the ice grenades tagging them up. But Buriram not going anywhere. They want to take this fight, and they're waiting for Team Apex Gaming to break down those blue walls so they can have an advantage.
And meanwhile, over on this side here, EVOS
Katie God!
The Falcons out of that circle. Pina finds his angle, puts the damage onto Aimdot, reposition, but hard to do anything as EVOS collapses onto the members of the Falcons. On fire, barely alive, one member knocked down as well. Moving together as a team, the double swings are too much to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Falcons can get all the information they want off of the binoculars, but they were just in a rough spot positionally. Could not flank around to the left. EVOS would have sniped them out of the waters instantaneously, had to take a straightforward fight because of the damage of the circle, and EVOS just had the better position. The Rail Soldiers, on the other hand, there's nowhere else to go. Gun Dynasty still alive and kicking with the 2 players. No revives possible for them, but they're now trying to play the placement points. AimGod looking for the reposition. Rastia tagged up already. Stroex single-handedly trying to take down as many players as possible from the side of EVOS, but the jig is up. The moment Gun Dynasty closes in on him, DRS might just be that extra point that Gun Dynasty needs.
Here comes Ray as well. Stroex taking a lot of damage already hanging in this corner. He's stuck here. Either you go down to the zone or you go out in the open and you crunch between 2 different teams. But he's not going to stop trying though. He spots Rasha, goes a bit too wide, and the rest of EVOS, they're just going to wait for him to come out in the open.
He's got the mini launcher on his side. He can quickly reposition, but potential to be sniped out of the air is high here. Now the zone's going to catch up with him as well. He's probably not running the team boosters, and he's going to sustain a ton of damage off of that, but still playing it safe. One with Mother Nature, finding some cover right behind the tree. And there's just so much the tree can do for you, buddy. The grenades are going to find the tags onto him, forcing him to use those medkits as well. One great wall, keeping the players of AGAL and Buriram far away from each other. And the engagement between these 2 titans will not break out just yet.
AGL had taken a lot of, I think, players out here as well. Now Evo's just kind of just moving around the zone right now, trying to see whether I can get some pickoffs. Excuse me. They maybe can just stay away from these fights. Speaking of fights here, BRU up against AGAL. The only thing separating them is just this wall.
Yeah.
Cypher does take a bit of damage here, but if anything, eventually Dew will fall. It's going to be Apex with a great opening there.
Okay, a couple of grenades over the wall. Could be a big one, but Buriram calls for the bolt maker. Lightning zone now is going to be that pressure for both AGAL as well as Evo's Divine. Loud going to be hopping on into the battle as well, but Waka eliminated from the equation before he can even make a play. And a counter lightning zone called upon Buriram as well. Two teams with the bolt maker out there. Evo's Divine with a big brain play off of those monster trucks. Extra layer of defense here for them. You can blow it up, but you cannot touch them just yet.
Yeah, Nameless get knocked out here. Nasha goes for 2 even to the AGAL side. And now, Buriram United wants to go in and stealing away the kills. No, it's Rasha that's able to secure every single elimination point.
Yeah.
Now, the tension changes. Buriram United has to fight against Evo's Divine, and they're gonna try and collapse forward.
A familiar situation here. Southeast Asia takes over Purgatory. And Evo's Divine up against Buriram United Esports. Can they go for a back-to-back booyah? Or will Buriram ruin the party here for Evos? Either way, Evos will still stay at the top of the leaderboard. Looking at their consistency so far. Valiant Dash breaking down their own defenses, but Wasana doesn't pull away too much from that. Moshi with the M82B gets the knock. Ray still standing up close and personal up against Jonah, who gets the hop up off of the glue wall and finds Aim God right behind it. And Buriram looking for the finisher up against Evos.
Yeah, Wasana just rushing forward here. Rasha here all alone. The shots going a bit too high, but Mochi going huge here. And there we go. Buriram United getting that booyah. Amazing work. Jonah, movement god.
Never before the champion here at the Esports World Cup. Could this be the year for Buriram United Esports? We talked about how Russia was that super sniper on the side of EVOS. We saw the amazing plays from him, but we cannot forget the one and only Moshi, baby. I fell in love with the snipers because of this guy, and he is back. This is his meta. This is his time to shine once again, and he cleaned up the battlefield in the final sequence.
Honestly, every single one of these members for the team, I think really stood out to me as well. But that final few picks coming from Moshi just completely cleaned up house and turned the tides for this team. Personally, for me, I saw the pressure coming in toward Evo's Divide, and I thought they have high capabilities of turning around the tides.
Yeah.
But Buriram United, knowing this, did not give them that chance this time and completely decided to just completely collapse at the right timing.
Absolutely. 3-time world champs right there for a good reason. Mainly Jonah, who I think is the most decorated player on that stage as far as his career here in Free Fire Esports is concerned. And they are the ones who have everything on their side in terms of rotations, IQ plays, perhaps a couple of hiccups here and there, but nobody can take away the fact that they are definitely one of the favorites out here to cause a lot of trouble. But can they get all the way to the end? Because EWC hasn't really been very kind to the squad so far.
No, I completely agree with you. There are just so many times that I think the Southeast Asian talent that we always say Buriram United is going to be the one at the very top. They always start off very hot, I believe.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you start to see them waver a little bit. I'm wondering how this year would change for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, towards the end, it was more of a hunting game. The players just looking for those shots. And Moshi, as the sniper of the squad, just not holding back at all, right? Just taking the fight straight up to them. The M82B got a little bit of a bump recently on the OB update, and these guys are not doubting it at all in terms of usage. Now, we've got a few commercials to play. Tash and I will be right back with you after the panel catches up with you guys.
Hello everyone, it's S8UL and we are live in Paris here in EWC 26 Free Fire stage. And right next to me, we have our two co-streamers who are so popular in Vietnam. Introduce to you, Bad Gấu and Cyrus. Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Thì không biết là hiện tại là mình đang được ngồi đây sân khấu tại Pháp thì mọi người đang cảm giác như thế nào vậy ạ?
Xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Rất là hồi hộp các bạn, mà không khí ở đây gọi là tuyệt vời và chưa bao giờ mà thấy một cái sân khấu mà lớn như thế này các bạn ơi. Mình không biết là áp lực của các tuyển thủ sẽ như thế nào nữa.
Sau đó thì cảm thấy như thế nào ạ?
Dạ em có thấy rất là vui ạ.
Vui thôi hả?
Dạ.
Mình bay rất là lâu tới đây mà chỉ thấy vui thôi hả?
Em cũng trải nghiệm được nhiều rồi.
Trải nghiệm được nhiều. Alright, overall the stage is really hype, big. They have never seen any stage like this. Very special to them in this Free Fire scenes. And overall, a very overwhelming feelings, happy when they're here in Paris to attend EWC 26 Free Fire. Okay, so I can see in the comment section thì không biết là từ nãy đến giờ mọi người theo dõi được 2 trận đấu rồi. Thì không biết là cả Bad Gấu và cả Sarah cảm thấy là các bạn khán giả của mình comment như thế nào vậy ạ? Mọi người có hưng phấn, có đang chờ đợi màn trình diễn của Team Secret của mình không ạ?
Wow, rất nhiều người ở Việt Nam và rất nhiều người khán giả hâm mộ của series WEC đang trông chờ màn ra mắt của WEC, và rất nhiều khán giả đang coi ở tất cả kênh sóng của Garena Revive Việt Nam đang rất bất ngờ bởi vì cái phong thái thi đấu của cái đội tuyển ở Latam hay là ở kể cả Mexico hoặc là Ấn Độ. Họ đánh giá thấp Brazil, nhưng năm nay Brazil trở lại khá là mạnh mẽ. Yes, sir.
Cảm ơn Bad Gấu ạ. Vậy thì Cyrus sẽ cảm thấy như thế nào về trong 2 trận đấu vừa qua đi? Thì Cyrus đánh giá như thế nào? Bởi vì bảng A cũng sẽ là một cái bảng rất là căng thẳng so với bảng B của chúng ta.
Thì theo em thấy thì sau 2 trận thi đấu thì em thấy cũng khá là khắc nghiệt. Nếu mà đội nào sẽ thi đấu mà gọi là xuống phong độ sẽ đội đó sẽ bị loại.
Chính xác là như vậy. So as we can see that of this coming tournament, here we have a lot of teams, Latam, India, and so many move on more. And very excited to see a huge circle of Free Fire all attending here to compete their best to get the champions at EWC 26. And overall, after 2 matches from Cyrus depends on him. Well, who got the weakness has to go down, obviously. And of course, I can see that everyone is really hyped, especially for Team Secret, as known as WAG from Vietnam, are also here to attend EWC 26. We'll attend the match in the Group B after this Group A end. Well, this is the end, and I love the energy of everyone here. Everyone looks so happy and very hyped for their favorite team, and I do hope you guys are also like that. Please continue to support your team.
Boy, we had to make sure we got away from some of our other analysts because I know they were hyped. The Border Ram has finally showed up. They got that booyah, and this is what we were expecting out of the 3-time world champs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's champions against champions right now. One taking the global finals, one taking the EWC. So you would expect really fire gameplay out of that final game, out of that final match, final circle. AJL though, I mean, I think like we just looked away, and then the moment that we look back, they were out. So the final 2 teams, 4v4, it was just phenomenal. But
I'm also looking forward to how Lao is going to recover right now, because I think they were pushed down a little bit too.
Hard this time. This squad was finally able to start putting up some eliminations on the board, and this is what we're expecting them. I know Lucifer in the back
is expecting even more out of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were just talking about that earlier before the game started, and then we saw them perform. So it's a good thing as well that it only took them a couple of games before for their warm-up, before they will bring it on. Because being at the bottom two, or almost the bottom two, that's not a place that you want to be, even if you still have another day to play. So you don't want to risk it. At least bring yourself halfway to what is it intended, and then that's when you play. If you don't like, that's when you gauge. If you really don't want to show that much performance, just go in there in the skirts of what is needed to get the next stage.
Yeah, and the good thing too, like going in regards to Evos, in regards to Buram United, now that are starting to get all these points, right? One thing that is going good for this squad, yeah, they're performing well, they're being consistent, but they're just sponging up all those points at the top. And don't forget, once we finish tomorrow from Group A, the top 4 will be going to Champion Rush Finals. And the last 2 will be going home, and in between they'll be going to survival. But that sponge of points there from the top is kind of just making everything even tighter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's difficult for them to really catch up. Like because of the huge lead that you have right there, it's making it like hard for the teams to really catch up, and it's also demeaning at some point. Like you will see your team at the bottom trying and struggling that much to bring it in numbers, and then you see the top wherein you, even if you still have one day, but everyone is competitive at this point. You want to get closer and closer to where you're intended to be, to skip one day and just watch everyone play.
Yeah, and from this map that we just saw, Purgatory, remember, this is one that you were looking to see some crazy stuff. I gotta ask you, were you happy with what we saw there out of Purgatory, or do you want to see more madness?
Well, definitely more madness, more chaos with a K. Because Purgatory, like, I'm not giving that most of the opportunity for a skewed flight path, the like ruining for final circle. But at least the teams are treating it as if it's a skewed flight path. The early engagement that's happening, a lot of teams trying to go in and out for battle, and that's what makes it exciting, because they're just playing it with the spirit of the map itself.
Yeah, and now going to the last 3 games here of Group A, right? Earlier we were talking about Tag. We wanted to see them being able to step up. I know we have a team from Pakistan as well that, I mean, we want them to see step it up because they just have such a passionate fan base back at home. I want you to tell me a team that you're going to be looking at, especially this next 3 matches, to either continue to be consistent the way they have been, or that you might see some fluctuation on their performances.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Paradox Gaming. Currently, they're at the bottom of the leaderboard right now, but at some point, we've seen the aggression as well from their regional. So it's something that they can bring to the table a little bit early this time instead of waiting for the second day. And also, some of the consistency
that we've seen from DRS Gaming, because the Real Soldiers Gaming is one of those that we didn't expect really show up the first time in EWC, first time in global in terms of a Free Fire competitive scene, and they're really doing well. I don't know if this is the full extent of their performance, or they're just still biding and waiting for the opportunity to bring the fire on.
I mean, they just gotta put themselves in that position where they can actually just claw at that booyah like Buram United Esports was able to do on that last one. Wasana was one of the players that I know Conchita really wanted to see them being able to step up in their performance and actually perform for their squad. Is there any player or any 2 players that in the next 3 matches you're going to be keeping a close eye on because you want them to impact the game in a positive way for their team?
Now, one thing I'm really looking at, especially if Wasana is involved, you have Get High in there. Get High with a combination of Wasana would be really aggressive on their top shape. And also Moshi in there, like staying in the back lines. Depending on the map though, if we go into a map wherein it's like favoring the snipers, we might see Moshi and Jonah pull away, try double sniper, or just get information early. And one signature that I keep seeing from Buram United is once they get that knock, they pull out the launch pad and jump straight into the battle.
We have a lot of viewers that might be watching Free Fire for their first time. If you are one of those viewers, please let us know on social media. Use that hashtag EWC, use that hashtag EWC26. I want you to explain to the new viewers that are watching Free Fire for the first time about that launch pad, because I absolutely love it, as we're just being absolute sidetracked here by a dancing, is that a dancing bull or a dancing cow?
Dancing bull, and I love the energy.
Yes.
I really love the energy on the stage right now. And
Is that Fluxo? I can't tell.
yeah, it is.
It is, right? I'm like, I have glasses on and I can't tell if it's like, you guys playing like three more games, okay? Your group is gonna be coming up. Hopefully you guys brought the drums, you brought that Brazilian energy, because we've seen it so far with Loud, but I know once we go into Group B, we wanna see Fluxo bring it.
Oh yeah, I mean, great potential for the team right now, and a great revenge storyline coming from them. Because from what we've seen as well, there's a lot of disappointing run, and it was caused by these couple of champions that we have in front of us right now. So I love to see. It's a good thing as well. It's a very different group.
Because they won't have to beat them on the get-go. They're just waiting.
थोड़ी देर में ही मैच ना अब शुरू होने वाला है, तो देखने वाली बात है गाइस।
It's not going to be looking like you're going to be
कैसा
going
चलेगा,
on survival.
कैसे
If
चलेगा?
they keep playing like this, consistency, you might as well just put it in their middle name, because these squads have been very consistent. But I think it's time we start the second half of Group A. Let's send it over to AJ.
चलो भाई, फ्लुक्सो देखो गाइस, इधर फ्लुक्सो
Honestly, insane seeing what's going on ground. We
एकदम
have
तगड़े
so
वाले
many people here. We have mascots
रैप
on the
के
ground as
साथ।
well, and we're already halfway through the first
इनका
group.
मैचेस भी होने वाले हैं गाइस, थोड़ी देर बाद। अभी 2 मैच खत्म होने के बाद इनका मैचेस भी देखने को मिलेंगे गाइस, फ्लुक्सो का।
But it is definitely a big question mark for some of the squads, right? You look at Paradox Gaming, you look at how they're doing out there so far. I feel like the gunfights in Purgatory were so much better, but they're still having their first day jitters full on. I want to see a little bit of an improvement as we head on into this game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, you have how much space to really just warm up that engine, get yourself into the groove of the game. But as we go into today, yes, 2 days, but already for Group A, we're halfway through. 3 more maps to go before they go on a break for the rest of the day and then come back tomorrow. But then again, playing catch up against these teams is not going to be easy.
Locally,
शुरू हो चुका है
Paradox is one of
guys।
their better maps, so this could just be exactly what turns their fate around here on day 1. You don't really want to be depending on day 2 to find that recovery back into the competition. And you sure as hell don't want
देखने
to
वाली
be
बात
at
है
the
गाइस,
bottom 2
कैसे
spots,
क्या
because
करेंगे
there
इस
is
मैच पे।
straight up relegation tomorrow.
ये
That
देखने
is
की
where you're
बात है
going to
गाइस,
end the
ये
day on.
तर
But
देखो
as we head on
गाइस,
into game number 4, it's
सबका
time
लोगो
for
दिख
some
रहा है।
next terror.
तो गाइस अब
Nextera is
टीम
interesting. There's
एपेक्स
just so many
गेमिंग
different
टॉप
bits and
8
bobs
पे आ
for this
चुकी है
map
गाइस
of how he's
आफ्टर
gonna go.
4
And on top of
गेम्स,
that as well, we are
सॉरी
still
3
seeing, I
गेम्स।
think, somewhat of a hot drop here. Looking here, we have PDX, I think, toward the
चलो
Deca Square
गाइस,
with another
अब
team. I'm not
एपेक्स
too sure. I
गेमिंग
can't
का
really see who exactly is. I think
फ्लैश
it's
होने वाला है
DRS.
क्या?
Russia
क्या उतर गए भाई
leading
लोग?
the leaderboard right
उतर
now.
नहीं रहे
Elimination 16
मैप
points.
हाँ
Easily
गाइस, इधर
delivered by the
फिर से
Super
बीआरयू
Sniper,
के
the
साथ
Wonder
क्लैश
Kid,
लेते हुए गाइस
still
टीम
the
एपेक्स
Wonder Kid.
गेमिंग।
And
तो
I
गाइस
think
देखेंगे
nobody else
क्या
is gonna
ये
be taking away
बीआरयू
the
को
title from him.
एलिमिनेट
No
कर
one
पाएंगे।
else has shown the kind of determination, the kind of hunger,
तो
as
अभी
well as the
शुरू हो
performance
चुका है
that
गाइस
Russia has
भयंकर
shown us
मुकाबला।
ever since he stepped onto a
तो
stage
बीआरयू
like
का
this.
एक प्लेयर डाउन है
Loud,
क्या
once
शायद?
again looking to do exactly that. As they
शायद
play a
एक
little bit
प्लेयर
of patch
डाउन है
squad
बीआरयू का।
up against Falcons.
There's a lot of things going on over there as well. We see on fire reposition
नहीं,
himself
नहीं।
a little bit more further forward, keeping his head down here because there's a lot of pressure that they're putting onto him as well. His teammates aren't super close as well. So if anything, he's just buying a bit of time, but his teammates, I think, shouldn't be a problem to bring him back into the game if he does go down fairly early. But if anything, the best case scenario for Falcons, well, you steal away 1 more kill before you get knocked down here. But BCP is tracking him right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and
पे ही दिखाई दे रहा है।
I guess
फैल्कन
it's
के
not a
ऑलरेडी 2
full-on
प्लेयर
clash squad battle
मर
because
चुके थे,
Falcons
बट
and both
उनको
of them,
रिवाइव भी किया
out
जाएगा।
of this Rushdown area.
देखेंगे
The
गाइस,
rotations are coming
इधर
on
कुछ
through.
हो रहा है
Looks like
गाइस,
Loud
लाइव फ्रॉम
wants
पेरिस
that big
डॉस को
flank
इधर
to
कुछ
find
कुछ
the
हो रहा
extra
है।
point off of the
फिर
Falcon
उसमें
player.
क्वालिटी इंक्रीज करता हूँ।
Catch up with them later on as
थोड़ा अच्छी
as
क्वालिटी
Buriram
देखेंगे।
spots out Demon's
तो गाइस
Pride. top
बीआरयू
16
वालों
about
ने
to be
थोड़ा
bagged up.
पीछे
Jonah
उतर गए हैं।
has got the
और
M24
देखने
in
वाली
hand.
बात है गाइस,
No
टीम
angles to
एपेक्स
work off
गेमिंग
of
किधर
it
है?
just yet. Gun Dynasty, on the other hand, with a very
अभी बीआरयू के साथ
early
फ्लैश फाइट
reset,
था शायद, वो
at
लोगों ने
least putting
अवॉइड
back
कर
one
दिया
player back in
फ्लैश
here,
फाइट को।
and with a phenomenal
तो बस
flank
बढ़िया
on
बात है
fire,
गाइस।
finally taken out of position there. AGAL, one player down on the ground. The battle between them and Gun Dynasty does not end well here for Gun Dynasty. The recovery definitely needed once again, and Benel is on the case.
Yeah, in this situation here in AGL, they've always been so proactive with these early fights as well. Already 5 eliminations here.
तो
Saifa once
देखेंगे
more.
गाइस,
Rahat is on the other
अभी
end
AGL वर्सेस
waiting,
टाइटन
and
esports
TEC
क्लब का मुकाबला चल
already
रहा
in
है।
such a precarious position, but his teammates able to be brought back into the game. But Nejat goes down to PDX.
Oh, Team Apex Gaming. Extra point for them, baby. If they can pick this up, Thrill of Battle popped perfectly. And a timely Thrill of Battle leads to Wolven picking up that extra point. But here comes Demon's Pride.
चलो गाइस,
They
अब
won
टीम
the
एपेक्स
fight.
गेमिंग
Take
का
this jump
फाइट
straight to
देखने
the
को
vending
मिलता है,
machine.
और गाइस
Instant
इधर
revival, but Madara sacrifices
डीमंस प्राइड
himself
रिवाइव
for
किया
that
जाएगा,
win.
और
Jazzy comes in
guys,
for the save, picking up his buddy. No extra revivals needed. TAG, Team Apex Gaming, didn't
दूसरे वाली
finish the
बात है
plays
गाइस,
off
फिर
just
रिप्ले
yet.
रिप्ले
Catch a quick
इसमें क्या
replay
हुआ था?
here in the middle
डीमंस
of a very
प्राइड
important battle for Team Apex
डीमंस प्राइड
Gaming.
का वर्सेस
But it looks
टैग
like
का
they'll call for a little bit of a
तगड़े
truce
तरीके
for
से
the time
क्लैश
being.
देखने को मिला था।
Yeah, just now I think a lot
बट
of
ये
things are
लोग
going
रिप्ले
on
दिखा
in
रहे हैं
that
ना,
situation. I think they
ये
got
दिखाना
cornered,
चाहते हैं।
if you ask me.
गाइस कर देखो
Now,
टोटल
as we
गेमिंग
look at
वो
the main
गाइस,
fight that's currently going here,
एक
TEC
किले गाइस टीम
still
अपेक्स गेमिंग का गाइस
chasing the
बहुत ही
bag
बढ़िया
out of
वुल्विन की
TEC.
तरफ से नॉक
And
निकालते
Jazzy
हुए।
already knocked down as
तो
well.
गाइस
And
टीम
I have
अपेक्स
to
गेमिंग
say,
का 4
TEC
किल
did
हो
a
चुके हैं
great
गाइस
job
इस
just
गेम में
cornering
गाइस।
their
केडी
prey.
गॉड को भी
Trying to
रिवाइव
get
किया
reposition.
जाएगा गाइस। गाइस टीम
Almost got a
अपेक्स
little bit
गेमिंग
messy
गाइस इधर
there.
बहुत ही बढ़िया तरीके से खेलते हुए,
Obviously,
बट
the
इधर
recovery was
बुरीराम
gonna be
यूनाइटेड
important,
गाइस
and that's
थर्ड
exactly
पार्टी
what
करने की पूरी
Team
कोशिश
Apex
कर
Gaming
रही है
finds
गाइस।
for themselves.
जी हाँ,
Buriram
बीआरयू थर्ड
saw
पार्टी करने
players
की
step
पूरी
into the
कोशिश कर रही है।
compound
तो
of
गाइस
the Indian
उसके
squad.
साथ
There's
इधर
moments to
देखेंगे
go.
गाइस
And as I say
जीडी।
that, Wolven
तो
takes
चलो
it
गाइस,
right off
जीडी
the
वर्सेस
board.
लाउड
Get IXL is
तो
there though, and
देखेंगे
it looks
गाइस
like Buriram's taking a full-on fight
उनका
up
कैसा
against the
चलता है
Indian
गाइस।
squad. Team Apex Gaming
लाउड
might
का
be in a
प्लेयर
little bit
गाइस
of a
उधर
trouble
देखो
here.
बहुत ही
Katie
ऊपर
God
गाइस।
brings Wolven
और
right
गाइस
back in
एक
off
और
screen,
चीज
and
इधर
Loud spotting
टाइटन
out Gun
esports क्लब
Dynasty, who
DEC
is
गाइस
looking for
इधर
the recovery in this game. I don't
आते
know
हुए,
if or not they
और
are
गाइस
ready for
इधर
the battle.
बीआरयू जॉइना
One player
नॉक
from the
हुए
side of
थे
TEC
गाइस,
is going to be
मतलब
stuck in this compound as
5
well.
किल हो चुके हैं गाइस
It's gonna
टैग
get
का
messy
गाइस,
for them
5
if they
किल
can't find the recovery
देख
for
सकते हो
themselves.
गाइस।
UAV is out as
अभी
well.
तीन
Should give
पैराडॉक्स को
away
भी
the
रिवाइव किया
position.
जाएगा, और इधर शॉट लेने की
Tried
कोशिश
to
कर रहे हैं
attempt
गाइस।
that. I think tried to just jump and see if he can get some info, but he got tagged. If anything, in this situation here, Kutush might be in trouble next. And I have to
उसके
say,
ऊपर
Benel
डैमेज
doing a
कुतुश
great
नॉक
job
हो
of
चुके हैं
marking
गाइस।
every single enemy
कुतुश
around
नॉक।
the area. Nothing gets away from this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. They play the Moko really well. And he had the M82B and the SKS as well. Great attention from that long range and the advantage taken. And Katie got
इधर गाइस फिर से बुरीराम यूनाइटेड वर्सेस, बट गाइस टैग ने गाइस इधर एक बहुत ही बढ़िया काम किया गाइस। वो इधर से निकल गए गाइस, देख सकते हो ना, वो इधर से निकल गए एकदम बढ़िया तरीके से। मतलब इन लोगों का भी 4 किल है, बट टैग को उधर है ना गाइस, एक प्लेयर को रिवाइव करने की जरूरत है, तो कर देंगे गाइस। केडी गौड उसको रिवाइव कर देंगे। अब डीआरएस वर्सेस टैग होने वाला है गाइस, टैग को बचने की जरूरत है। और गाइस उधर बीआरयू रोटेट कर रही है और पीछे से डीआरएस आ रही है गाइस। शुरुआत इनका बहुत बढ़िया गया था, बट क्या कर सकते हैं, थर्ड पार्टी गाइस।
And now Falcons finding the players of Gun Dynasty. Gun Dynasty's just had a rough run in this lobby this time round. Nextera's just not their place. Limit will find one from afar. David 444 found as well. The players of Gun Dynasty flanked all around, and it's the Falcons swooping on in. The birds of prey looking for a meal, and Gun Dynasty is just that fill.
Yeah, and Shairu is stuck outside the zone as well. What are you going to do here? You have to find a different way into the area. And Falcons wants, they desperately really want that one extra point. It almost feels like they just are playing with a vengeance. Now, in this situation here, GD looking good with 6 points already. Shairu still managing to stay alive. And right now, if we were to look at the leaderboard here, EVOS is looking really good right now. They have a huge lead compared to the rest of the teams. And in terms of, I would say, positioning right now, they're looking, I think, fairly alive. If anything, throughout the entirety of this day, EVOS has been doing well in terms of positioning, in terms of looking for pickoffs, in terms of looking for fights as well. And I don't think this is going to change.
Use for cover, not having to use up all of your glue walls too early in the matchup. And we're going to see
quite a number of survivors.
DRS के भी प्लेयर
As I
डाउन
say
है
that,
guys, बट DRS
the
को
real soldiers pulling in a double
किया है।
revive. Yet again, extra coins. Takuri making sure he brings back the 2 revives first. So great strategy
चलो
played by
guys,
him before he got
देखते हैं
caught
अब
out
क्या
there.
होने वाला है।
Unfortunate that he could not go in for that final revive.
सेकंड जोन
So
शुरू
2
हो
players
चुका है
down for the side of
ऑलरेडी।
DRS once again.
केडी गार्ड ने
AGL
गाइस
is really
PDX
scary. If you
वो
think
गाइस
he managed to
केडी
shake
गार्ड
them
ने
off,
एक और किल
he just
निकाल लिया।
really a
तो गाइस
false
बढ़िया
sense of
गाइस,
security before finally being taken
इंडिया
out.
गाइस
He's
एकदम
done his
गाइस
due
आज
diligence
ना
though.
गाइस
He brought his teammates
बढ़िया
back into the
खेलते हुए
game,
दिखाई दे
and
रहे हैं
I
गाइस।
think bringing them back into the
जी
game
हाँ
poses
गाइस,
a big threat to so many of these teams. Now in this particular area where
एकदम
Falcons
बढ़िया
was, you
तरीके
could
से
see just now
गाइस।
they were really looking for Jazzy. He's still very much alive, but they have to be very very aware that Loud is close by
फैल्कन के अभी
somewhere
4
in
प्लेयर,
the wing. So
फैल्कन का
this
एक और किल आ गया, बट फैल्कन का केरोरो का डैमेज
a
बहुत
two-way
कम
fight
है
is
गाइस।
looking
मतलब
really good right now.
एचपी डीमन स्प्राइट गाइस एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है।
Yeah, Pride definitely taking a
अब
hit
इधर
here on
DRS
21.
भी गाइस बहुत
Still down at the
खतरे में
very
दिखाई
bottom
दे
of our
रहे हैं,
leaderboard, which is 10 points to the
बट गाइस
side.
DRS
Gave it
को
triple
रिवाइव
four,
किया
down
जाएगा।
on the
मतलब
ground,
एक ही
instant
प्लेयर
pickup
उसका
there,
नॉक
and
है
the
गाइस, तो
recovery
शायद उसको
is
रिवाइव मिल
solid
सकता है।
for Gun Dynasty. But they have been
चलो अब
challenged all
ईवोस
throughout this
ईवोस
lobby.
वर्सेस
The only luck they
पैराडॉक्स का
have
गाइस
now
फिर
is
से
they're dealing
लड़ाई
with
होती हुई
DRS.
दिखाई दे रहा है
They've got
गाइस।
the numbers
पैराडॉक्स ने
advantage in
गाइस
this battle as
इसको
well.
मारा और शोटो ने गाइस पैराडॉक्स को नॉक किया, और शोटो गाइस किल कंफर्म करते हुए गाइस। टैग गाइस एक और किल गाइस, टैग का गाइस 8 किल हो चुके हैं गाइस, ओपी इन द चार्ट गाइस। तो गाइस 2 गेम इतना अच्छा नहीं गए थे गाइस, फिर भी गाइस टैग गाइस एक नंबर खेलते हुए दिखाई दे रही है गाइस। मतलब बहुत टक्कर दे रही है गाइस टैग। तो गाइस चलो अब फिर से गाइस फैल्कन वर्सेस लाउड होती हुई दिखाई दे रही है गाइस लड़ाई। तो देखेंगे गाइस दर फैल्कन जीतेंगे या लाउड के प्लेयर्स। लाउड के भी गाइस अभी 5 एलिमिनेशन है गाइस, ऑन फायर इसके ऊपर चार्ज करते हुए गाइस 1v2 का सिचुएशन, बट निकाल नहीं पाए। तो गाइस अभी फैल्कन्स का गाइस मतलब एक प्लेयर नॉक है गाइस, वो भी लिमिट, और लाउड का भी गाइस एक प्लेयर नॉक था गाइस। बट गाइस फैल्कन के प्लेयर को ना गाइस रिवाइव किया जाएगा। और गाइस उधर से गाइस लाउड का प्लेयर 1v2 निकालने की कोशिश, 1v2 है गाइस, 1v2 निकाल लिया गाइस, 1v3 भी निकाल सकते, बट गाइस इधर नॉक कर दिया गाइस। और गाइस इधर एक और बात, टाइटन ई स्पोर्ट्स क्लब गाइस एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है गाइस, वो भी 11th पोजीशन पे। लाउड का गाइस एक और प्लेयर बचा है गाइस, शायद वो बैकअप लेने की पूरी कोशिश। बट इधर देखो गाइस बीआरयू वर्सेस पैराडॉक्स का लड़ाई चल रहा है गाइस, वो भी पैराडॉक्स का एक ही प्लेयर बचा है, बट उसको मार दिया जाएगा गाइस। देखो गाइस इधर रसाना गाइस, इनका बीआरयू का गाइस 11 एलिमिनेशन है गाइस इनका ऑलरेडी। तो गाइस इधर देखेंगे गाइस टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग क्या कर रही है गाइस, इधर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा। टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग को देखेंगे गाइस, हम थोड़ा क्वालिटी फिर से बढ़ाना पड़ेगा गाइस। चलो गाइस क्या गाइस इस बार टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग जीत पाएगी गाइस, पूजा निकाल पाएगी। बट उसी क्षण गाइस एजी ग्लोबल का गाइस ऑल गेमर ग्लोबल्स का उनके ऊपर चार्ज देखने को मिल रही है गाइस, एडब्ल्यूएम का शॉट। बट वो लोग गाइस मतलब एकदम मतलब जोन के सेंटर में आके होल्ड कर चुके हैं। बट इनको गाइस लास्ट तक बस जिंदा रहने की जरूरत है गाइस, बस कुछ नहीं गाइस। इनका किल्स तो आ चुके हैं गाइस, अब इनको पोजीशन पॉइंट्स पे गाइस समझ रहे हो ना, पोजीशन पॉइंट निकालने की जरूरत है इनको। तो इधर डीआरएस वर्सेस फिर से फैल्कन होते हुए गाइस डीआरएस का प्लेयर को रिवाइव भी किया जाएगा, और फैल्कन्स का केरोरो को भी गाइस रिवाइव मिल जाएगा। देखेंगे इधर देखो ये पे लड़ाई होती हुई दिखाई दे रही है। तो ये लोग देख रहे हैं मतलब ऊपर से कोई बंदा आएगा कि नहीं। तो भाई गेम गॉड 10 फुटबॉल मार दिया। वो गाइस इधर देखो गाइस केडी गॉड ने 1-2 और एलिमिनेशन निकाल लिया गाइस। केडी गॉड गाइस मतलब एकदम ओपी इन द चार्ट गाइस।
And yet again, the Brazilian squad on the back foot. This is
ओ
just
भाई
not the
इधर
other
पीछे
lobby.
बीआरयू है गाइस, और उधर आगे गाइस
And that's
एजी
exactly what
ग्लोबल है
next
गाइस,
era is. Lots of spots.
केडी गॉड
Right
गाइस,
away at.
टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग
We
गाइस
have got a
तो हो
ton of
सकती है
squads,
गाइस। इधर
so
एक
many
और
players
ऊपर वाला
still
किल उठाने
alive
की
and
कोशिश
kicking
कर रहे हैं
as we
गाइस
approach the
मोस्टली।
12 minutes.
बट उठा पाएंगे वो गाइस, किल तो गाइस आया, बट वो कंफर्म कौन करेगा गाइस, वो देखने वाली बात है गाइस। यही लोगों ने कंफर्म कर दिया, उधर से कोई आके मतलब किल उठा भी सकता था। बट गाइस अब शायद गाइस टैग वर्सेस बीआरयू होने वाला है गाइस, एकदम 4v4 फाइट। और गाइस उससे पहले गाइस इधर देखो फैल्कन्स वर्सेस ईवोस रशिया गाइस। तो फैल्कन्स लोग ईवोस के साथ फाइट करेंगे तो शायद वहां पे रोबो के ऊपर से उनको डैमेज मिल सकता है गाइस। बट फैल्कन्स वाले को जोन पे जाने की जरूरत है। तो गाइस फैल्कन्स का केरोरो नॉक है गाइस। और इधर से पैराडॉक्स के प्लेयर भी गाइस आके चैर्ज कर रहे हो गाइस। ईवोस गाइस देखो जोन के बाहर से आ गए। अभी गाइस 4 जोन चल रहा है गाइस, अभी भी 10 टीम बचे हुए हैं और गाइस फैल्कन्स का 2 प्लेयर ही बचे हैं। और गाइस इधर देखो शोटो ने गाइस बीआरयू को नॉक निकाला और गेटाई को भी मार दिया। वाह भाई, ये क्या चल रहा है गाइस, देखने वाली गाइस वो देखना है गाइस। टैग का फाइट दिखाओ भाई, ये दिखा ही नहीं रहे, इतना अच्छे से मार रहे थे उधर। अभी केडी गॉड एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं गाइस, केडी गॉड एलिमिनेटेड है। बीआरयू को रिवाइव मिल जाएगा गाइस, तब केडी गॉड को भी रिवाइव मिल सकता है, ये देखने वाली बात है गाइस। शायद उधर शोटो और 2 ही प्लेयर बचे हैं, ये देखने वाली बात है गाइस। इधर फैल्कन्स के भी 2 प्लेयर बचे हैं। हाँ उधर शोटो और 2 ही प्लेयर बचे हैं गाइस, शोटो और शायद 2 ही प्लेयर बचे हैं। देखने वाली बात है गाइस, क्या होगा इधर। मौसी ने फिर से मार दिया। डीआरएस गेमिंग गाइस एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है और उधर टैग का प्लेयर भी शायद नॉक है मुझे जहाँ तक लग रहा है। अभी ईवोस एंड लाउड्स गाइस देख सकते हो। हाँ इधर टैग के गाइस 2 ही प्लेयर है और फैल्कन्स भी गाइस एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है। अभी गाइस एजी ग्लोबल, लाउड और जीडी और पैराडॉक्स गाइस, इनमें से कौन भैया निकालने वाला है गाइस, ये देखने वाली बात है। और एपेक्स गेमिंग को गाइस अभी जोन पे आने की जरूरत है गाइस, अभी वो बहुत मतलब रीच के बाहर खेल रहे हैं। तो चलो अभी लाउड के प्लेयर्स इधर देखो गाइस, एक ही घर में कितने बंदे हैं। ईवोस का भी एक प्लेयर डाउन है गाइस, मतलब ईवोस का रशिया नहीं है गाइस, देख रहे हो ना।
their lives by just hunkering down in a corner and waiting out the initial onslaught. You can see Trap barely alive.
बीआरयू का एक ही प्लेयर बचा है वो भाई, बीआरयू टॉप 2 पे चल रही है। टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग भी एलिमिनेट हो गई वो भाई। टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग 8वें पोजीशन पे चल रही है। टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग का धीरे धीरे कमबैक होने वाला है गाइस। भाई वो ये मैच 4 चल रहा है शायद, देखेंगे गाइस क्या कर पाते हैं ये लोग।
Put a great distance between themselves and the chaos that they almost encountered between EVOS and Aurora. Now leaving the battle between the Malaysians
एलिमिनेट
and
हो
the
चुकी
Indonesian
है
squad. And the shot from afar, AGL putting the pressure onto both Aurora and EVOS. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses. S8UL sneaky, but he saw the Riptide Rhythm and quickly stepped away from the window. Ray on the other hand not doing that. AJL getting a couple of tags in. Aimgot the most away. Ray on the other hand will not get the pleasure of doing so. Axel's gonna get caught out. Riptide Rhythm again putting on so much of pressure, taking advantage of this tight little compound. And Aurora again will get snuffed out early.
You is doing great, just really catching people in the mid of the rotations as well. Now EVOS only aim god is alive, gonna hunker down the corner as Loud is gonna work their magic onto GD. Aim god rushing through, but for the other side there's gonna be a massive Nyx and Trap doing a lot of magic, but GD pressuring them, and AGAL also wants to join in on that fight. GD rushing forward, and now right in the nick of time, you have AGAL fighting the last possible member from EVOS, not able to survive, so aim god down and out.
Yeah, that's it for EVOS. AGL spotted them out and they were just tracking them all the way through. And now Gun Dynasty trying to take on the Brazilians, but the interference from the Thai squad. AGL long range away and almost no cover at all except their glue walls. This is going to be trouble if a Skylar is in the hands of either Gun Dynasty or Loud. And they'll quickly take some cover behind the boulder as well as these trees. Great rotation, great defense from the Thai squad.
AGL being very patient here, stuck behind a rock, but definitely not a hard place yet. But now as GD wants to take away this real estate from Loud, cannot do so.
Oh,
damage is done. Nice damage onto Trap, but no more than that.
Beautifully played here by Latam. understanding the angles perfectly, trying to make use of the utilities instead of taking a straightforward fight up against Loud, who do have the positional advantage in that sequence. Shiru though, caught in hand, looking for the flank, trying to play a little bit of pressure on AGAL to take AGL out of the equation here before they have to deal with Brazil. And AGL understands the little bit of a pinch that they are in, trying to close the distance down to take the positional advantage away from GD as the circle forces them closer in.
Shiro is just trying to really just come into the area, can go for this backstab. AGL does try to collapse forward, but the amount of pressure that Loud is putting on them is incredible. The glue walls are just immediately destroyed. GD cannot come close and come into the compound at all. Do fall. David, good one onto him as well. And Shiro, his position finally seen, forced to move back here. David putting in that damage to AGL, a quick reposition forward, and they are going to collapse. AGL cannot move forward.
What a beautiful rotation, man. That's perfection out of Thailand, perfection out of AGAL. But now, how do you deal with this chaos? Gun Dynasty have been pushed outside. They are at a disadvantage at this point of time. But when the circle starts closing on in, it's going to be trouble. Where will the zone move? Who does it favor? And trap. What a nade. David taken out. But the time turner is active on their side. They didn't waste it earlier on. And that allows them to pick up their rusher instantly.
And it's really good.
One
You
more.
cycling. Nice shot and knockdown coming in from Cypher's skill. Great work coming through here. Loud still has the upper hand advantage in terms of positioning. AGL, HP chunking down. The damage comes through. And Loud, all they have to do is just rush forward. And they're completely surrounded from every single angle. And Loud, once again, a booyah!
Second booyah of the day for Brazil. And they are not messing around. Got pushed down a tad bit. The performance at Purgatory, not the best. At Solara, it was decent. But this is going to get them right back in contention for the #1 spot for sure. AGL definitely going to be in the race for the top 3 here after a back-to-back performance. We saw them pick up a massive number of eliminations off of Purgatory, and they have gotten in towards that final circle here at Nextera with the exact same performance. Great play, I have to say, from both teams.
You know what's really impressive about AGL? The fact that in the beginning of the game, they're all around the map. We come to them finally after seeing those initial fights. Something like, what? They already have 6 eliminations? Silent but deadly, but definitely loud toward the end as well. It felt like a bait and switch because GD was the one that had a compound, I would say, advantage in the beginning.
Yeah, and this was where it all came crumbling down for AGAL. They went in, they took the house as their defensive compound. What they were not expecting was the play out of Gun Dynasty. And the play out of Gun Dynasty wouldn't have been forced if it wasn't for Loud. Loud started tossing those grenades at them. Gun Dynasty had to make a decision, and the only decision they could make was take the fight up against AGAL. And they played that perfectly, rushing straight at them. And again, I've always mentioned how David 444 is one of the most lethal rushes out there. And he took the fight straight up against them with the Mag 7, demanding a lot of points in that house, and he got it for their side. But towards the end, it just wasn't enough. AGL stood their ground really well with the defense, but they had to lose 2 players in that sequence as well, and Loud with the advantage just walked away with it towards the end. It's not always about the most aggressive. Sometimes it's about who understands the final circle better.
Yeah, you have the eliminations. You have to find that I would say, balance, right?
Yeah.
Between getting to that last few points with those placements, plus also getting those eliminations as well. And AGL has, I would say, AGL, Loud, Buram United have really good, I would say, grasp on being able to do all of this coming into the game. I think what's really fun to see as well is just the fact that for AGL, they know how to do the bait and switch. They know how to go for zone control. But I have to say that for Loud, just now, they were just doubling down on that real estate. They know that they had the height advantage. They know that they can just really kind of keep out GD from their area and force GD and AGL to go for that fight. And all they have to do is just clean up house.
Yeah, and it's been very impressive to see this Brazilian squad so far, because yes, it wasn't a very aggressive Purgatory game, but if you look at their positioning placement in all 4 games so far has been phenomenal. We're going to take a quick short break now. When we come back, the final 2 games of the day.
International Shopping Festival. Thailand, Afghanistan, Iran, Dubai, Singapore ಇಂದ ಬಂದ global treasures ನ shop ಮಾಡಿ. Women accessories, jewelry, chocolates, dry fruits and unique artifacts all under one roof.
July 16th ಇಂದ 19th ವರೆಗೆ ಕಾಟನ್
Break out the drums because Brazil is showing up. 2 booyahs today for Loud, and my gosh, Neptune, this squad is consistent as heck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine 2 booyahs and 3 times on the top 3 out of 4 games. And this is just something that we don't expect to see, especially in day number 1 out of this kind of competition. Most of the time in this level of competition, there's a lot of stealing of those booyahs. There's a lot of stealing of those numbers as well in terms of elimination. So Loud is just doing quite well in positioning themselves and making sure that they are not out there being gunned down.
Yeah, and of course, Loud is so much better tactically when we compare to the other teams. They have the patience, they have the drive. Again, it's something so refreshing to see. But then again, it's a Brazil team. Are we even that surprised?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brazil has been one of that contender that has been a bane when it comes to like a battle of Southeast Asia and Brazil and also other regions being introduced. And with the more regions in here being put in the mix, like they have that elements of surprise because the focus would be on the newcomers and they will be most of the target. And we were seeing that at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, we definitely were. I mean, I was going to be looking at the match standings right here. GD being able to put up some points as well. Out of all their squads, AG, how about that with those 27 points?
27 points, 18 elimination points, and I got to hand it down to Du and Saifa. They're doing so well. This is exactly the teamwork that I actually wanted to see from EFOS Divine because it's an Indonesian, of course. I do hope that they can learn from the best. And honestly, I think that game, it really showcased the ability of Du and the capability that he has to lead the team towards victory.
Honestly, I thought AGAL was going to take the booyah in that last match. Their positioning in the bottom of building, I thought, oh, surely they have this. Surely they've got this. But no, of course, Loud's just sitting on top in the way that they were they're able to accelerate and take more of positioning in the zone. It was exceptional. And I know, Neptune, you got something to say about that, don't you? Like, yeah, let's get loud.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more of what they can do in terms of the number. Again, getting a booyah will add up for your total points, but elimination is at some point at this stage of the competition is even more important because you have to bring that much to pull yourself at the top of the leaderboard, and booyah is something that is reserved for the team, especially with the champion rush condition towards the grand finals.
And I think looking at the overall standing, something that I'm really aware is that it is so scary for EFOS Divine in the very beginning of the competition. I mean, we started off really shaky, but looking at it now, we have 84 points and then 50 kills. That is not bad at all, even though we only have 1 booyah secured right now. I think what I said at the beginning of the show might come true. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to keep repeating it, but I do think there's a huge chance for EFOS Divine to maintain this position and actually be, I don't know, the next one to go to the next stage.
And the one thing that we were talking about earlier is that sponge between those teams towards the top. And it's starting to get even more and more. Once we see the overall, you get a chance to see exactly what I'm talking about in regards to those teams at the top, just making an even bigger gap to some of the other squads. Now, one thing I know has been sticking out besides the top squads, right? we got to go to PDX. I mean, I was talking about earlier in regards to tag. That's a squad that needed to be able to step it up. They have since then, since we've mentioned it. I know you were looking at PDX, Lace.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at Paradox, and look, they're not sitting pretty on the top of the leaderboard, okay? You know, we're talking about the Louds and the AGLs. I feel like there's two games going on at the moment. We've got like the AGLs, the Louds, EVOS, you know, kind of having their own scuffles in the top of the leaderboard. And when you move further down, the tags, we got Paradox down there. I know Paradox had an accelerating run against Tag, but unfortunately fell like a little bit short in that match there. And it just seems like they're just not making the best decisions for their team. They managed to sort of get split. But where we were looking more into that final zone, Paradox, it was probably the first time I actually saw them group up and were able to put more eliminations on the board, and that's what we need to see from them. So I don't really know what's happening like in and amongst the early fights and stuff for them, but that was probably the best performance we have seen from them. But they are, you know, not being able to get those eliminations and those placement points on the board.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, the first few games from their regionals is that aggressive
not
team.
being able to get those
from
eliminations
Africa,
and those
they
placement points on the
managed to
board.
clutch it towards the end and getting that qualifier on the WC, and it's more off the elimination. So this is one thing that we were expecting to get go. There's a lot of teams who want to show up strong, especially if they are new to this contention. But for Paradox Gaming,
exactly what's going on at Refinery, so that shows a potential intention of AGL wanting to rotate in towards
Exactly
this
what's
high
going on
platform
at
vehicle
Refinery,
on
so that shows
तो गाइस चलो अब फिर से गाइस शुरू होने वाला है बहुत ही भयंकर वाला मैचेस। तो देखते हैं गाइस इस बार क्या होने वाला है गाइस। ये 5वां मैच चलने वाला है। तो गाइस 5 मैच के बाद अपेक्स गेमिंग टॉप 8 पे चल रही है गाइस। इस 2 मैच में गैस क्या अपेक्स गेमिंग एटलीस्ट टॉप 3 कर पाएगी। तो गाइस अब बांग्लादेश वर्सेस इंडिया होने वाला है गाइस। केडी कॉड पीछे है और BRU। तो गाइस चलो इधर चार्ज करने की कोशिश और इधर टैग का एक प्लेयर डाउन हो चुका है गाइस ऑलरेडी। उनको फिनिश भी किया जाएगा गाइस। अब गाइस ये लोग बहुत दूर दूर है गाइस। थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा गाइस इनको मारने में। बट गाइस अभी इनको निकलने की ज़रूरत है गाइस के साहिल जाट वो चलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। चलो गाइस इधर लाउड वर्सेस इधर डीमंड स्प्राइड भी हो रहा है गाइस। बट हमें ये देखना है गाइस हमारा इंडियन टीम्स क्या करने वाली है गाइस। अब RHK ने गाइस अब टैग के ऊपर क्लैश लैंडिंग लेते हुए अब शोटो गाइस बहुत ही पीछे है और बुलविन 2 ही प्लेयर बचे हैं गाइस। तो देखने वाली बात है गाइस क्या ये लोग कुछ कर पाएंगे। गाइस ये जैसे ही अंदर जाते हैं ओ नो बुलविन भी गाइस फिनिश होने की कगार पे है और अकेले गाइस TAG के अकेले प्लेयर बच चुके हैं गाइस। अभी उनको रिवाइव करने की ज़रूरत है बट उधर पीछे BRU का स्क्वाड था गाइस। तो देखने वाली बात है गाइस क्या हो जाएगा। अब BRU ने इधर चार्ज इन कर दिया थर्ड पार्टी गाइस। शोटो ने गाइस अब रिवाइव कर दिया गाइस अपना काम। तो BRU का भी एक एलिमिनेशन है और इधर EC और DRS गाइस देख रहे हो ना गाइस। थाईलैंड वर्सेस नेपाल वर्सेस बांग्लादेश क्या चल रहा है गाइस। एक नंबर कत्ते ही जहर। अब इधर RH के मतलब TEC का भी गाइस प्लेयर रिवाइव हो चुके हैं गाइस ऑलरेडी। तो अरोरा गेमिंग गाइस इधर यूज के ऊपर चार्ज कर रही है गाइस। और गाइस इधर BRU गाइस एकदम फॉर्म में आती हुई दिख रही है गाइस। BRU शायद एकदम फॉर्म में दिख रहा है। BRU का शुरुआत में ही गाइस 3 एलिमिनेशन हो चुके हैं और DRS का भी गाइस बस एक ही प्लेयर बचा है वो भी रिवाइव करने के लिए जा रहा है। तो देखने वाली बात है क्या ये रिवाइव कर पाएंगे। अभी लाउड ब्रेज सॉरी अभी लाउड रिफाइनरी से निकल चुकी है गाइस। अभी उनको रिवाइव करने की ज़रूरत है भाई। इधर AGL का प्लेयर डाउन हो चुका है गाइस बट उनको रिवाइव मिल जाएगा। और इधर डीमन स्प्राइड भी गाइस एकदम फॉर्म में आती हुई दिखाई दे रही है गाइस। इस मैच में गाइस एपेक्स गेमिंग को कुछ ना कुछ जरूर करना पड़ेगा गाइस। आई होप गाइस इस मैच एपेक्स गेमिंग का गाइस अच्छे जाए गाइस। फुल सपोर्ट गाइस एपेक्स गेमिंग। तो गाइस सभी लोग है ना गाइस एक बार कमेंट करके बताओ टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग। तो चलो चलो ये GD वाला टीम गाइस ये भी बहुत बढ़िया खेल रही है। वो अभी साइफा भी नॉक है वो भाई। ना कोई ना खेल रहे देखेंगे। चलो अब शायद गाइस फिर से हो सकती है गाइस फैल्कन वर्सेस वो भाई शोटो नॉक है गाइस। ये क्या हो गया। छोटो नौके केडी गौड़ा के लिए बचे और उधर से भी गाइस वो भाई शाहिल जाट को भी नॉक किया जाएगा अब। वो भाई ये क्या हो गया, ये क्या हो गया, इधर केडी गौड़ा के लिए बचे हैं, गाड़ी लेके निकलने की जरूरत है गाइस, निकलना पड़ेगा इनको, निकलना पड़ेगा गाइस। चलो गाइस होपफुली सेफली निकल गए। पर देख रहे हो ना गाइस, मतलब एक कैसे, मतलब कैसे आके चार्ज किया है एकदम से गाइस। अब इनको फिर से गाइस रिवाइव होके यूनिट होने में गाइस टाइम लगेगा गाइस। और केडी गॉड ने गाइस रिवाइव तो दे दिया। इधर देखो गाइस जीडी वर्सेस टीईसी का गाइस, इधर देखो गाइस 1v2। ओ माय गॉड, स्नाइपर देख रहे हो ना गाइस, इनका स्नाइपर एकदम कतई जहर खेल रहा है। अभी ये अकेला प्लेयर बच्चा है, उनको मारना पड़ेगा, या तो वो भागेगा या तो टीम एलिमिनेट होगा। तो देखने वाली बात है गाइस। टीईसी का एक ही प्लेयर बचा है शायद। अब मैच 5 गाइस, इसके बाद एक और मैच होने वाला है गाइस, उसके बाद होने वाला है गाइस एक और ग्रुप का गाइस, ग्रुप बी का होने वाला है। वहां पे होने वाले गाइस हमारे टोटल गेमिंग एंड S8UL। तो देखने वाली बात है गाइस वो लोग कैसे खेलते हैं। बट गाइस अब इधर देखो DRS गेमिंग एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है। ओ माय गॉड, अब फिर से गाइस इधर देखो, फिर से फैल्कन्स ने गाइस इसके ऊपर अटैक किया। मतलब समझ रहे हो ना गाइस, उस वक्त का बदला लेने की ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं। बट गाइस इस बार क्या टैग मतलब खेल पाएगी गाइस, क्या निकल पाएगी गाइस। उधर साहिल का कवर आ चुका है, बट इनको एक प्लेयर को निकालने की जरूरत है गाइस। क्या गाइस क्या मार पाएंगे गाइस, वुल्विन वेंडिंग मशीन पे ही है। तो गाइस शायद हो सकता है गाइस वुल्विन रिवाइव दे दे केडी गॉड को। हाँ गाइस केडी गॉड को रिवाइव मिल चुका है गाइस, वुल्विन भी गाइस लॉन्च पैड से गाइस उड़ चुके हैं। तो गाइस फिर भी नॉक किया जाएगा गाइस। अभी शोटो गाइस, शोटो को फिर से गाइस कमाल करने की जरूरत है, बट शोटो भी बैकअप लेते हैं, ये भी गाइस बहुत अच्छा बात है। तो गाइस अभी शोटो बैकअप नहीं ले पाए, शायद उनका लॉन्च पैड का ग्लिच हो गया। ओ माय गॉड, वो भाई शोटो गाइस, शोटो देख सकते हो गाइस, मार दिया था गाइस, बट कोई ना, कोई ना। तो चलो फैल्कन्स का 9 एलिमिनेशन हो, वो भी टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग को मार के, वाह क्या बात है गाइस। फैल्कन्स गाइस बहुत बढ़िया खेलते हो, मतलब ये फैल्कन्स गाइस एक खतरनाक टीम है गाइस, इससे पंगा कभी लेना ही नहीं चाहिए। पिछले बार ये लोग RRQ को रोका था, इस बार किसको रोकेंगे ये पता नहीं चलेगा। और वर्ल्ड सीरीज में फ्लुक्सो को भी रोका था, इनसे पंगा लिए थे वो लोगों भी। तो गाइस फैल्कन्स एक खतरनाक वाली टीम है गाइस। बट कोई ना गाइस, अब टीम अपेक्स गेमिंग फिर से रिवाइव होते हुए दिख रही है। बट इस गेम में इनका एक भी किल नहीं है गाइस, ये बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत की बात है गाइस, इनको किल निकालने की जरूरत है। तो कोई ना ये लूट करके किल निकाल देंगे। अभी देखो टीईसी का भी गाइस, अभी एक PRU मौसी गाइस इधर पीछे से आने की कोशिश कर रहे, और फिर से गाइस फिर से टारगेट किया जा रहा है गाइस, देख रहे हो ना गाइस, तब समझ रहे हो ना। तो गाइस चलो फिर से एक और बार होने वाला है शायद टैग वर्सेस फैल्कन्स। बोल रहे होंगे गाइस हमसे पंगा नहीं मित्र, फैल्कन वाल से पंगा नहीं मित्र। तो कोई ना गाइस, अब चलो देखने वाली बात है गाइस। हाँ शायद फिर से एक और वार होने वाली है गाइस।
record is because they are no strangers to it.
Yeah, I think it's also really exciting to think about how, Buriram United approaches this
Record
game.
is
Sometimes they're
because
going a little
they
bit more
are
slow.
no
They have a lot of
strangers to
pages
it.
in their
I think it's
playbook
also
as
really
well
exciting
coming
to
into
think
this
about
game.
how,
But I am
Buriram
really
United
surprised at how approaches this
Record
game.
is
There's so
because
many of
they
these teams
are
They
no
have starting
strangers.
pages that can go.
I think it's also really exciting to think about how,
Buriram United, I would say, has a little bit more spark in them compared to the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a great day for TEC. Managing to play a little bit of recovery on Kalahari was crucial for them. But, it's just going to be enough to get them out of the danger zone. Not permanently just yet, because they've spent too much time down in the bottom two. Now, we have got a little bit of a breather here for the casting desk. We are going to throw you guys on to that bit of a break. We'll catch up with you guys now in a bit. Game 6 later, the final one, the casting desk. We are going to throw you guys on to that bit of a break. We'll catch up with you guys now in a bit. Game 6 later, the final one, the casting desk. We are going to throw you guys on to that bit of a break. We'll catch up with you guys now in a bit. Game 6 later, the final one, the casting desk.
What's up, everyone? Carol Bombshell here. I know you guys are having so much fun watching Free Fire, but there is a lot more going on here at AWC 2026 in Paris. So come with me, let's check this out. Let's go. Have you introduced your outfit for today? No problem. There is a lot of options here at the official store. T-shirts, hoodies, socks, teddy bears, even hats. Oh, you want to customize with your own name? Yes, there is a bunch of options here. What about your team is not doing so well? No problem. There's another options here, another teams that you can cheer for. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. We gotta cut this right now because I'm gonna customize my own t-shirt. Bye. Lots of fun activations here, like in Lenovo Stand. You can play games and also you can do some different things. Look at this. Maybe I wanna try. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was trying to help you. Oh, maybe I should get in the line because we got a full house. You better don't take too long to come. Wow, we are in the middle of it all, the heart of AWC. We got a great atmosphere here with fans at stage 1, stage 2, the most important stage for you. Stage 3, stage 4. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you notice Team Vitality? It's your favorite team, so come and drink a coffee with them. Are you missing Kidia City? No problem. We got Kidia City right here with a lot of fun activations, interactions for you to have fun the whole day. And you know what? If you are in the area, you got to be mad to not to come here. So I'm waiting for you. See you soon.
And what an insane last match that was. I feel like that was probably the most chaotic end zone that we have had in these games today. I don't understand really what went on in these first original matches to then pop out with this. It's like all the teams switched on. Did any stand out to you?
Lace, what we just saw is actually a classic battle between Buriram United Esports and of course AGAL. We are practically seeing history repeat itself again and again and again. And it was so amazing to see Get High finally came out as the winner because boy, that was intense. I am so giddy inside. I'm so excited. And it's only the 5th game of the day. We still have one more game from the A group.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen obviously AGAL dominating at the time, but it's nice to see these sort of other teams take over in the mix. But I think if we sort of go back to that end zone there, I feel like these players are switching on and they're like, you know what? We kind of didn't do, that great in these first couple of matches, and now we know it needs to turn up. I know we're talking about it the game, we're in game 5 coming up now, but is it a little bit too late? Is there a particular team that you found in that end zone? I know I did. I know I was talking about them before, and that was Paradox, where I said they need to get better placement points. They need to turn up, and they were actually in that position in that final zone.
Yes, but also if you talk about the Southeast Asian games teams, I mean, I honestly think that they are kind of dominating their points throughout the whole entire day. And it is so refreshing to see because usually we see that happening from the Brazilian team. Yes, I mean, Loud has been amazing. Loud has been a very powerful, but then again, it is the time for the Southeast Asian to really show the world what they are made of. And that's exactly what they've been doing. I mean, I'm so proud to see my boys killing it out there.
Yeah, I love that. Can I tell you a little bit of a story? And this was actually back to match number 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you guys back just a little bit here, but that is none other than Gun Dynasty and Banal. Okay, I don't know if you saw me get out of my seat for this part, but they were making sort of a swift recovery, and then Banal pulls out the monster truck, and you kind of think that all fails and it's going to end there, but no, they sort of take that smooth transition to make that recovery, and the mechanical skill that Banal has for his team and the adaptation is simply exceptional. And if y'all missed that, obviously we got the replay, but they took this opportunity early to sort of maximize their eliminations, and I think they actually pulled up 17 elims in that first match. And what that obviously does for this team, and it sets them in a standard that is above and beyond the rest. Currently sitting more in the middle of the leaderboard, you know, against our Louds and our AGLs, but that first match is something that I feel like these other teams need to follow suit because, yeah, consider me and color me impressed because I'm a Banal fan now. I don't know about you.
Well, same here, because you know what they say, right? The first match usually sets the tone, and that's exactly what they did. It was so amazing to see and so refreshing to see Banal. I mean, I said I just found a new love, and I think you felt it too. But then again, looking at the overall standing, AGAL, oh my God, 109 points, 70 elimination points. That is so amazing, and that is something that I'm so excited to see at the opening of EWC 2026. And of course, if we're talking about a top 5, we have Buriram United Esports as well as EFOS, Gun Dynasty, and Loud Snickers. That is, oh my God, that is what I expected and more.
Well, I know we're super excited here. I hope you guys are super excited at home because we're heading into our next match. Take it away, casters.
Man, I tell you, the day has been looking super solid, but I did not expect only a handful of teams to walk away from Kalahari with double-digit eliminations. But what happened was the teams that did walk away with a double-digit elimination, which by the way was only 4 squads, walked away with a ton of points, right? We're talking about 23 eliminations from Buriram. AGAL walked away with a total of 19 eliminations, GD with the 15, and Loud walking it with just 10. Yeah, but that's still quite a lot for the squad because they're obviously looking to maintain their dominance on the leaderboard, and you're looking for the top 4 spots. But even with 2 Booyahs, it's surprising how Loud is still behind GD. Gun Dynasty has been amazing today.
I know, I was going to say that, right? The survivability was really good, their aggression was really good, their proactivity was really good, their rotations was also really good. They're like the kind of team that are very silent but deadly. You don't see them on the Booyah screen, but no Booyah, no problem.
No Booyah, no problem at all. At least on stage 1. But as we spot out the map here, it looks like finally we get some discipline. We get some quiet out there. We are back on Nextera, baby. And Nextera is the map that gave us the most number of eliminations from the day. 121 eliminations earlier on at Nextera just to light up the battlefield. And I talked about how we kind of were lacking through these eliminations on Kalahari from a lot of the teams, but still it was the second highest with 102 eliminations. So I think some of these teams are definitely warming up, to say the least.
It's always very fun to see these things happening. And again, you know, how aggressive these maps have been. In the show just now, you said that some of these maps can go a bit faster. And that's how fast we're going right now. As Jazzy does get one quickly. Ray rushes forward. Top is barely alive right now. I'm not too sure how much longer he can survive here. Ray does put his shot first out here. But finally, in the end, does go down. And the points being stolen away by EVOS here, starting off real hot as Jazzy crosses the peripherals of the rest of EVOS, and you cannot get away by trying to play like that against them.
Demon's Pride, getting their pride crushed out there, but they were not too arrogant to begin with. They were humble enough to acknowledge that this was going to be a very big stage, a massive challenge for them, for their region, but they're giving it their best. Their best so far hasn't been good enough. We did see a little bit of recovery play from Demon's Pride on that Kalahari match, and that has been their best game of the day, where they scored 10 points. The rest of those matches were way lower than that. That's exactly what's keeping them at the very bottom of the leaderboard. But thankfully, they've got 6 more games to look forward to tomorrow, and a lot of these mistakes to recover from.
Yeah, EVOS is still on it as well, chasing the last few members of DP here. So Madara instantly brought back into the game. Yes, but you're just giving up so many points to EVOS right now. But also at the same time, we were looking at GD for quite some time. We're saying how aggressive they are. PDX is going to go down eventually by them.
Absolutely, and EVOS picking up elimination number 5. Well, thanks to Aim God and his thirst for a few extra elimination points. Jazzy out all alone.
Madara's
He's protecting no compound whatsoever. Madara's just dropping right behind him, and they're just going to be hoping and praying that EVOS does not go out hunting. And thankfully, EVOS looks the other way. They walk away from the potential point. But DRS out early though. This is not what I was expecting, but Aurora picking off the solid 4 points from the Nepali squad.
Yeah, I think that feels like DRS has started to slow down just a little bit as well. They didn't get the deeper run that we saw in the beginning of the day from this team. Aurora, though, looking into playing a different tune here. They want to try and catch up with Kiroro. They can crunch him from multiple angles. Kiro in trouble. The CQC, he tries to keep alive. He does, but not for long here as Zeus finally chunks him down eventually.
Yeah, Kiroro just trying his best to get away the stealth bites, but Zeus was just way too close. And he had the Valiant Dash as well to just break down those defenses instantly to get another point for Aurora, who's definitely having a much better game here. But Team Apex Gaming up against your reigning defending champions of the Esports World Cup. Free Fire. Can we see India take down one of the most lethal squads out there? Aim God, the shield gun in hand. Won't be able to get aggressive just yet, waiting for the rest of the team members to catch up as well. Woven going in for the tags, but instead the reversal and the backup from the rest of the EVOS members puts him on the ground. Shoto's gonna get caught out here as well. It's a 2v1. Valiant Dash still keeping Shoto alive, but the numbers play will catch up, and a disadvantage for Team Apex Gaming here. Slowly the team crumbling with the vending machine inside S8UL. Can he pull off some sort of a miracle here for the squad?
Yeah, but he's being marked by Rasha, who just desperately wants to take him down. Takes a little bit more damage here. It goes down. Rasha coming through as well. Not able to do so. S8UL finally wins it out in the end. Perfect positioning, but still has to deal with the rest of EVOS.
I'll take that, man. I'll take that. Good enough from Team Apex Gaming. S8UL giving us some exciting tightrope walking survival plays off of the glue wall, just at the very edge of that platform there. But of course, EVOS Divine still with the advantage on the numbers. But what's important is the recovery play off of the Indian squad. He bought enough time for the survivors to scurry on away, pull in those revives. And we're going to get to see if or not Team Apex Gaming finds that full recovery later on. Aurora, on the other hand, on one of their better runs so far. The most number of eliminations Aurora has pulled from a lobby today has been 9. They're already at 8, and this game is still fairly early. Can they continue their run, or will they fizzle out? Demon's Pride, again, still no way whatsoever to recover their gameplay here as they're scrambled on the battlefield.
Jazzy taking a lot of damage as well. Limit putting in the damage. And there we go. Falcons clean up house there as well. Another point in the back for DP. Brought back into the game quickly. Somehow I'm surprised the AGL with only one player left. I'm wondering what happened there.
Madara, Aswab. Too close to Aurora. Easy picking here for the Aurora players. I see Tech in there as well. Potential 10-pointer. Best elimination game run here for Aurora on this next Jara map. Thanks to the players here from South Asia. The Dinocular will scan out the Demon's Pride players. Aurora's definitely on the hunt as they rotate around into Twin Bridge looking for Intellect Center. It's actually Demon's Pride being the first team to make it into the next circle. Good on them, but scrambled from the very start. Holy mama!
Gosh!
Rasya brought it to AGAL. That deadly shot.
He did it twice! unmoved, undeterred, cool and collected. Look at his reaction.
I mean, that's the best way to take the number one spot. Take the guys out of the number one spot and move on into where they stand. But EVOS Divine, obviously, they need a few more points to climb the leaderboard. They were behind Buriram before the start of this match. Not by too many, of course. Catching up isn't going to be too impossible. And Demon's Pride again, all their revives are just giving some extra bonus points to anyone that comes across them.
Yeah, TAG now in trouble as well. Buriram United bringing his teammates back into the game. Katie got trying to stay alive, but this shot from Moshi, nothing crosses this guy. Gonna be able to confirm that elimination fairly cleanly. Shoto's close by, Sahil Jet and Wolvin around as well. And for Buriram United, I'm wondering what the next steps are going to be. Are they gonna go clean up house, get the last few eliminations, or are they gonna go and prioritize the positionings instead? And from the rotations, they're gonna try and go northern side here because the circle did hard shift north side.
Damn, Moshi, you're good. The follow-up off with a Riptide Rhythm is too perfect. Timely. But now, Gun Dynasty scrambling for safety as Falcons go out on the hunt. Vega's gonna get tagged up and Pina's there for the finisher on the front lines, backed up by Limit. And the Riptide Rhythm causing a lot of chaos out here in the lobby, just not from one team, multiple squads depending on that Skylar. And we saw the perfection out of Moshi. Limit showing us that he can murk magic off of that as well. Shiru, Benel too far away from the vending machine. Shiru's going to be chased off of it as well. But Benel from afar with the strike of the VSK, finding the headshot. Deadly play from this guy. Knocks down Pina as well. And Benel single-handedly taking the fight up to Falcons. And that should be enough to contain the champions of EWC 24.
Should be able to bring back his teammate into the game as well. He kill, he heal, and he also eliminates players in this game. TAG once again brought back the teammates into the game once more as well. GD gonna launch themselves forward. Okay, this is gonna be interesting to be chased by EVOS here. Abax does find Shiru there somehow, knocked down.
Man, I mean, EVOS got into position at the perfect timing, but Benel survives, which means Gun Dynasty gets to survive a little bit longer because the Super Survivor, Super Reviver will be on to his mission once again. FGL shot out. I've not seen a single narrow play after the nerf. That bit unfortunate we don't get to see those clutches.
They're coming through here. Aim got jump shots forward here, puts in that damage. But it's Abax that gets caught out by Pina first in the end. Falcons now 9 eliminations already. AimGot will be found as well. EVOS may have bitten more than they can chew. Ray barely alive right now, feeling the pressure coming in from the players from the other side there. Does find Pina in the end, but I don't think they can do more than that.
Falcons looking to make this their game of the day. Definitely the best run they've had in here so far. EVOS, on the other hand, looking for that #1 spot as they took out the team on that #1 spot, AGAL themselves. But they're now on a recovery play. Abax on that revive. Falcons, on the other hand, this definitely officially is one of their better games. Earlier on, they got 12 eliminations off of Solara, but only 5 placement points. They have to be careful because they were heated up on the Solara map as well, but dwindled down quickly when the circle was closing in.
It just seems in this situation here, TAG stuck in the corner. Now looking at Falcons there, they really took their time to come into the circle as well. Coming back to GD, David, Vega also getting knocked down already. Benel just waiting for the right timing here. Just pop up his head, steal away those very nasty shots as he's been delivering toward this, first side of the game, first part of the map, excuse me.
EVOS fully recovered already. Looking to take the #1 spot by the very end of the day for Group A. Can the reigning defending champions find that full recovery for themselves? TC, on the other hand, quickly trying to play the reposition. Paradox, one of the teams that have been struggling, but definitely doing better than TEC at this point of time. Taking TEC out of the equation here. And give them a slight boost, and it's definitely a fair fight between the two, but Nezard with the Monster God name and going in for the finisher as well. Has got the electrotherapy connected to him, but can he get the job done?
Can't really get too close.
Slows the pace down a tad bit, and that does not give them that advantage they wanted.
Yeah, they're forced to reposition, go down to the lower ground as well. This is a three-way fight. GD is here, Paradox is here, TEC as well. But they're going to take this bit by bit. Decides to pick and fight TEC first. Blade coming in hot, has an angle to work with, but finally locked out of the angle. You have the time timer online. Denrick trying to find a different angle into the area. The inhaler keeps him surviving for quite some time. Snipe goes down. Kutush, huge for that as well. Even Denrick is found in this situation. Blade also decides to end Denrick's life in the end. And CEC, the players are just getting dropped left, right, and center. As GD decides to join in the fight. Shiro here, found in the end, but TEC with the upper hand.
Big play there by Blade. Phenomenal. And Benel is on it again. This guy is unstoppable on the revives. Yeah, definitely not the right kind of record to be holding on to, because you know your team's getting tortured out there, but they're also picking up some big points. TEC's out after that fantastic play. Shiru shut down by Moshi as he got revived, shot out of the air. And this is getting fairly dicey. Lightning Zone called out, and Aurora in a pickle out in the open.
Forced to reposition, rushes away with their lives. Look at the amount of pressure they are feeling right now. Finally, in the green for the semi. No, has to wait this out. And if they do come in here, not too far of a jump, but it's okay. Gives a bit of space between them and the rest of the teams.
Holy mama. Gun Dynasty, bloody impressive. So many times tortured, so many times losing their players. But the recovery as well as the dominance with the mechanical plays have been unbelievable. They sure as hell are on fire, and even literally out there right now within the lobby. Can they pick up more for themselves? 15 eliminations and still going with 3 players still alive.
Here comes the wait. Jonah putting a bit of space between him and the rest of the team. Now gonna rush forward here. Aurora gonna take this fight, I think, head on against Buram United. They're so aware that they're very close by. They're, I think, pressuring them with the nades. Azrael, a lot of damage taken. Zeus is barely alive right now. The rush forward is good. Get high, does find Azrael here somewhere. And Wasana, the jump shots are just nasty. Zones them away, chasing the rest of the team, but still not able to completely wipe them out of the map.
Yeah, big mistake there from the Malaysian squad. Trickling in one after the other up against your world champs. That's just not gonna work out. This ain't no Bollywood movie. And the heroes, regardless whether or not it is a Bollywood movie, will always win out. And Buriram just that hero. Now the numbers disadvantage for Aurora. Buriram goes in for the finisher. Falling shot. Wasana and 590 perfection. Get high with a backup. And Wasana cleans up the house. Pulling away. 13 eliminations in totality, but now they're going to be pressured from the back. Gun Dynasty spotting them out. Loud's in the vicinity as well. And Demon's Pride surviving somehow and finding their way in here.
This is a really great round for them as well, surviving this long. And it's really exciting to see someone as aggressive as Jonah just really get up close and personal and just clean up the area. Shiru will be the one to go down next year. Falcons still putting in that pressure. The rotations are going to be very, very intense. Falcons does have a bit of a zone control to play with, but we are seeing GD come close.
It's Thailand versus LATAM. Who's going to get that #1 spot? Both Gun Dynasty and Buriram, full squad. But Gun Dynasty on that high ground, this can turn into a disadvantage. What is a massive advantage for them right now with a bird's eye view. Can turn around instantly if someone gets the God nade. It's going to be Benel taking Jazzy out of the side of Demon's Pride. A valiant run here for Demon's Pride is not going to be good enough to break them out of the 12th spot just yet. As we're left with 4 squads in the final circle. Loud, still Loud out there looking for their 3rd booyah of the day.
Doesn't it feel like deja vu how they have been able to hold on to this top side of this compound once again? Now Buram United forced to just wait this out, taking a lot of damage from the players from the other side here. But Falcons want to go for this fight against GD. Can't do just that. So the most they can do right now is just wait out the utility, wait out the onslaught of bullets coming at them from different areas. Buram United going to cross by, taking a lot of damage from the other teams.
Yeah, big brain play, man. Three-time world champs for a good reason. Good call by Captain Jonah. The rotation is solid. They've got the compound cover and they will not get tagged up. And now they stand a good chance of walking away with the booyah here. It's all about positioning supremacy. And now the circle's going to be pressuring two teams. It's Falcons as well as Gun Dynasty. Gun Dynasty still on fire with the most number of eliminations in this lobby. Can they break the record set here by Buriram on Kalahari? 23 eliminations plus the booyah for 35 cracker points.
Yeah, they're forced out into the open where Falcons decide to take advantage of this situation. If you won't come to us, you will crash into our crosshairs. Falcons, clean up house. Gun Dynasty out of the game. We're down to only 3.
Falcons not even giving us a lot of time to think about what the answer for that question was going to be. They say, hell no, Mustachio. We take them out of the equation. Buriram, though, still alive and kicking, but loud. Can they withstand this ambush now? Buriram taking the fight straight up to them. Valindash still active on the side of Osana. M590 looking for the connections, and he's also got the AWM. Takes the high ground advantage first, and Loud now left right behind them. What a rotation by Buriram.
Yeah, Buriram United is just so aware of how exactly things are going to go. Now, they have a lot of space to work with. They're aware of where the players are going to be here, but Pina jumps through, lands the shot, not able to, and now they want to take the fight too loud. They're stuck, trapped, very, very low HP. Jumped away, the damage is there on fire. Zane is just so good. Trapped, gone down already, and Guaka as well. What are you going to do when you crash from so many different angles?
Taken out of the equation. Falcons, that was the Moco gameplay right there, giving them all the information they needed. And now it's gonna be your global finals champions taking on the EWC 2024 champs. And Buriram, Jonah shutting down Pina with the AWM up close and personal. Looking for the final player, Kororo looking for that recovery, and they won't be denied as Buriram pulls away the third booyah of the day to take the #1 spot on the leaderboard.
It is incredible looking at Buriram United. Not only are they so confident playing with that playbook play, they don't have to really worry about anything. Positioning is key, and from that, the rest of the eliminations and the fights just flow to them as well. Patient as hell and okay with giving away that space.
I didn't even look at the YouTube chat today, but I am damn sure, I am 300% sure everybody would have been saying, washout squad, Buriram can't do well, blah, blah, blah. We've heard that rhetoric so many times because they've started off the day with 13 points in game 1 at Bermuda, 12 points at Solara, but what a way to wrap up their 6 games. They broke their own record of 27 points at Kalahari. The match that we just saw ended on game 5, and then here at Nextera, they cleaned up house as well for a back-to-back 3 booyah day to just show everyone that this time EWC, the championship, is going their way. But it's not done just yet. It's just day 1. This is just a preview of the first stage.
Yeah, and it's really exciting because you do this well on day 1. You're going to ride that high into day 2.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you are going to put a big gap between you and your team, which allows you a bit more space to make some mistakes.
And you have to also acknowledge the fact that this was the group that was dubbed the group of death. We have so many Titans in here, and to clean up a lobby full of Titans, I mean, mad respect to the 3-time world champs, man. 2 times they've been here already on the Esports World Cup stage, but maybe the previous time the heat at Riyadh was just a tad bit too high. They did complain about the heat in Paris as well, but I'll have to say it's nothing compared to the desert sands of Riyadh.
Yeah, for real. As we come into this game as well, I think what's really exciting to see about them is the fact that not only are they the type of team that really took their time in map number 1, but you can start to see really amp and get more comfortable as most of these maps come by. You start to see Moshi, you start to see Jonah, you start to see Wasana just really step up, able to take up space. And most importantly, there's a lot of support and trust with each other for them to really go all in on these fights.
Yeah, but I have to say, Falcons, man, what a game here on the final one at Nextera to pull away 22 eliminations. This was by far their best game of the day. I mean, prior to this match, the most number of points they pulled away was at Solara with 17 points, and their second best was just 13 points. But they just finished Nextera with a 31 bomber. So if you are a Falcons fan, this is exactly what you want for yourself, right? For them to show everyone that they're still alive and kicking. But I mean, am I sad for Esports? Not really, right? Because at the end of the day, I think they still will be able to hold on to their top 4 spot. They didn't manage to wrap the day up with the Booyah. As a matter of fact, it's only the one that they pulled away at Solara that they looked the strongest on. Purgatory, I thought they were about to pull away a back-to-back, but it just wasn't their day. We're gonna have a little interview here with the Buriram Esports player, so we'll throw you guys onto that. Tash and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
Hello everyone, we are back on stage. I'm Carol Bombshell and I'm happy to be here with this beautiful lady, Lacey. And we got Wasana from Buriram team here. Let's talk with him some very interesting things. Okay, so last year Buriram didn't perform as well as we expected. Well, as we expected. Well, as we expect.